Hello. How are you, Hope? Today I'm feeling very uncomfortable because I'm on my period, so I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. I should have carried my little pillow of lavender with lavender seeds. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling a bit like uncomfortable. I don't know how to say it, but it's like this. Mm, thank you, thank you. I did try to put on some makeup, but I got up very early today, but I don't know why my face, it looks as if I just woke up. And no, I got up at 8, 8. So, I'm not sleepy. Um, but I don't know why my face looks, especially my eyes. Mm, I feel like my eyes are a bit like closed. Like probably it's the lighting that I have in front of me that is I tend to make my eyes smaller when I feel like an interruption. Um, it's very funny because I don't like to wear sunglasses. I don't know why I don't like to wear sunglasses. It's something that I have that I don't know why, but I will go through all day with my eyes like this. but, but I could use sunglasses. But I don't like them. I don't know why. I remember when I was a teenager, there were these color glasses that I don't know if they are back on now, if they are trendy now, but they were on the shape. The glasses were the shape. The color. The color was you had like red, not red, pink. Very very light blue. Also, there were yellow ones as well. I remember I had ones that they were pink glasses, um, and I used to love them. But I don't know why I feel like um, because they taint your whole view. So for me, it's like I cannot see the real. I cannot see the real. It becomes it's tainted. My view is tainted by the color of the glasses. So I feel it so unreal. Like I'm not comfortable. I prefer to feel the sun on my eyes. Like I don't know why I do that, but probably I also feel a bit dizzy. And I know that at least back then, the ones that I would use, they didn't have like they weren't like these real glasses um, with the specifications. They were just for you to use as an accessory. But I would feel very like I would get headaches. I don't know. I'm such a weird person. I'm a very weird person in that sense. That's like the 90s, the 70s vibe. Seeing life through rose-colored glasses. They did look good. I did like mine. I remember I was a fan of mine's. I used to have them. I think that it was, yeah, in the 2000s, in the year 2000. Um, oh my! I also have this thing with the ring light today that I don't know. Mm, I don't think I will have to open the window. Yeah, I will have to use the window, but it's really dark in here. Because I don't know what is going on with the ring light. Wait, I will have to get my. Sorry, guys, for the noise. I'm back. I don't know if you can see me better. It looks like a. Oh my, this is so bright. I don't know what happened with the ring light. Is I was checking the cord and it's actually like heated, like But oh well. Can you see me well, guys? Like for me, it's more important that you can see the cards well. That it's not that dark in here. Can you let me know, guys, if you can, or if you want me to move the lamp a bit, maybe a bit to the side? Of today's topic, but Seunghan looks so mature as a soloist. I hope the toxic fans leave him alone now. Yes, I love him. Like I'm able to see and appreciate him. Of course, that this is the beginning, and I'm not like loving the song. I think that for the beautiful voice that he has, that song it feels like too noisy for me. But maybe because I'm old, I get annoyed by those, like, I don't know, is it like EDM, the genre? But it feels like it gives me a headache, to just listen like, blah, 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 all the time. Like my brain needs to rest. Um, and but I am watching his stage, and of course, I haven't watched the KCON LA. I still haven't watched the performances. I have to catch up on those. Talking about Zhang Hao, I have him on the list. He's the Leo guy, right? I have him on the list. Because he was pendant from last Sunday. But yeah, I still have to catch up. Can you see well the table, guys? Like, or is it too dark? Let me know if it's okay. Also, my ovaries hurt. This is like too much TMI, but I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. I think that they are okay. I think that they are okay. I'm the one that is not okay. Oh, it hurts so much. But this is the thing. I don't know if every woman feels like this, but for me, when I'm on my days and I do complain, it's very uncomfortable. And this is just the beginning. I'm not even like this is just the beginning, the first days, and it takes a while for it to finally go away. Like it takes me like 10 days. Because it doesn't release at once. It takes a lot of time. And I noticed that the busier I am, the more somehow I'm able to not feel better, but it's not um um I'm busy, so I'm not paying attention. If I'm just laying down, and I feel worse, so I have to do something. Yes. I mean, it's not like the pain goes away, because it doesn't. But if you stay active, it's like you don't think about it that much. How is the weather over there, guys? Is it hot still? A lot of I think that there was like tsunamis, right? In some parts of the world. In here, I think that there was an earthquake, I believe, but it was impacting Chile. Um, but we had the bad weather last week. We had like a lot of wind. Um, oh, my weather is horrible. It's been pouring rain and thundering. Oh, yes, I think the earthquake in Russia caused it. Yeah, the tsunami was impacting Hawaii. Oh, poor people. My God. And also, I believe that Japan also, but Japan always has these like tsunamis, and I don't know how they do it to live in their, like somehow being accustomed to having earthquakes. And I would freak out. The first time that it will happen, I will be like, I want to move. But I don't know. I think that I would say that I would want to move, but I don't know. I'm always thinking about this. I'm like, because uh, I'm not getting any younger, and I also my closest family is my dad. It's me and my dad. So I'm like, if when once he's gone, like I'm thinking about relocating myself, like going to live somewhere else. I don't want to stay here, but um, when you don't know where I would love to go somewhere new, but at the same time, I will have to review my options because being a woman, a single woman, a woman of my complexion, the world you know is dangerous everywhere. So yeah. Um, let's see. I will have to review that. Their architecture is designed to protect them from these situations. Okay. Mm. The children have backpacks that are earthquake proof. But I agree with you. I would want to live. Yeah, I know those beautiful backpacks. Yes. But I don't know. I'm such a scary cat that even when the wind gets a bit, tough in here, and I start hearing how it moves things, how it moves the trees, how it takes away things. I'm like, I get so anxious. So I don't know how I would do if it was water. I feel so, I need my stability, I need to know that, you know, this is why we had to, do some of the remodelation that we did on the ceilings of my house, because the house is very old. I believe yeah, it's like my house must be like 50, no more if my dad bought this land when he was 17 years old. So yeah, the house must be like, yeah, 65, 62 years old, and it was done in a way that it was, for the ceiling was a bit like momentary, like the materials were very thin, um, and it has been a lot of years since it had been replaced. So then we had to, start over and be like, okay, we have to rebuild this, because we are, getting every time there's a flood, the water enters the house or is leaking, and it's expensive. It's an expensive move. It's like after it's done, you're like, oh yeah, this looks great, but it's a very expensive move, because since it's an old house, every time you move something, it's like you find something else that you have to, arrange. Mm. I yeah, I would like to go to the US, but you know, um, I think that the president that you guys have is like the one that I have here. They share the same mentality. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he would send me back. He would be like, go away. Um, but he's not going to be there forever. I know. I know. It's just for a couple of years. I know. I know New York is expensive, but they have amazing facilities and everyone is very nice. As someone who is also not white. Ah, okay. As a black woman, I feel that there are so many places I like to go, but people can be so terrible. There are so many stories about I still go, but will be prepared. SK is a very nice place, especially if you love K-pop, but there may be discrimination against people of color, so be careful. California is my home, so yes, so I'm partial, especially San Francisco. Yeah, I think that I would go for LA. I think that they have Hispanic communities. Um, um, because I get along with everyone. Like for me, like I will talk to everyone. Like I don't have, a preference. But um, about South Korea, I don't know if I would go. I don't know. I don't know. I think that maybe if I was younger, um, you know, when I was skinnier, when I was naturally my weight, my size. But now, since I have a lot of pounds on, and of course that with exercise and maybe a more active role, I could lose them. But also that I have thyroids and my life has changed. I'm not working in the same field. I changed. I'm seated down more. So yes, it's not about me eating, so I am like this. No. But I think that when your weight fluctuates so much and it's because of a health issue or there's some condition that you cannot lose it that easily. I'm sensitive to criticism because it's not something that I can do. I can be drinking water all day and I still will get a floated the stomach, or I will still look like I'm floated. Like I have inflammation in my body, in my face, in my stomach, in the stomach, in the abs area. Um, and since I know that for them, it's not so much about the color. I think that the color and is also another thing, but it's more for the weight issue. Like, I think that for me, I think that the body that I got is very generous with me, considering that I was premature, that I almost died, and now 40 years later I'm still here. I'm still standing. So I think that I wouldn't be able to be in a culture where they criticize so much, like the weight, and also since I had been skinny myself, like the first 20-25 years of my life, I had been very skinny. For being a Latin person, I never had curves nor boobs. I've always more like, actually, if I think about it, my normal shape of my body is actually very similar to the Asians, because I had very narrow hips, and very thin legs, and the arms were also very thin, very skinny, like not shape at all. I always wanted shape. I never had them. But I would wear, jeans, and they would be loose because I wouldn't have like shape, nothing. And um, very, very plain. Um, but I think that when um there's something about like you cannot compare races also, sometimes there's a certain, I know Asian people that they are not that skinny. And probably there's something about them also having like some kind of regime or some kind of diet that, let's not even mention like, the surgeries and everything that they do. So for me, it's like, if you're going to criticize me, let's be fair. Let's be fair, because I could also go under the knife and just, do a better version of myself. I wouldn't, but I think that I love my body with all the imperfections, and I don't know, I just wouldn't feel comfortable. Even I have family members. I have, an uncle, my one of my dad's brothers, that he's always picking on the woman of the family about weight, and it's an irony, because actually his wife is a very is has also a lot of weight on herself, but because she has a, health issue that, she's gaining weight because she cannot move that much. But it's very interesting how he projects, um it's like he always is pointed out like, oh, you should go out more, oh, you should, for me, he's always like, you should go, like, do more exercise or run more. And I just look at him and I'm like, this is what I have. And also I'm busy. If I can, I would, but my schedules change all the time. I'm thankful that I have a job, that I have different activities, but sometimes I don't have time. I have to be seated in front of a computer. Yes. Mm. I suggest the U.S. post 47. He sends this and so I know too. Oh, okay. Yeah, Americans are trying to figure out how to live. I mean, some at home he's sending people whatever will take them. Oh, dieting culture in East Asian cultures is crazy in general. They have a store called Zero, which sells only low calorie and low sugar food. Actually, that's one thing that I noticed. They do consume a lot of very sugary products. In my case, the only sugar that I actually like salty things more than sugar. The only sugary thing I do is I have it with the mate, that I put it on the mate, and then that's it. I usually just drink water. Um, and maybe on the weekends I have a soda, but I try to have water, because my poor liver. I have to be kind to my liver. I have to be kind to my liver, to my intestines. They are in there, doing their things, but they have disadvantages. So I have to take care of them. As someone that has lupus, I have to. Maybe when I was younger, I would be like drinking and like, oh, that's okay. But now, I cut out all drinking, and I try to avoid fast food, or just cook the meal myself. Because I know I can feel it in my body that sometimes I eat something, like a hot dog or something like this, in my stomach. Oh no. So it's sort of letting me know, like, you cannot do that. We are trying in there, but we are not perfect. That's why you love rice. I love rice. My mom used to make fun of me. She was like, you're running in the wrong continent. Because she's like, she would make like a stew, and she would be like, okay, what do we put in here? What kind of noodle? And I would be like, no, I want rice. And she would be like, no, you were wrong in the wrong part. And actually, it's very funny. The other day, someone asked me if I did, the past lives readings. if I ever did it on myself. And I remember that, with this oracle, I don't remember much of the cards, exactly the cards that I got, but I did get the card of Asia. I did get the card of Asia, this one. That is so funny because it also has a Buddha, and I have a Buddha here. It's like the Buddha. So probably, in a past life, maybe I lived there. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I will go back. Not in this body. I think that I had enough of, let me just enjoy K-pop and J-pop and Chinese songs, and that's it. Yeah, as a man, he shouldn't be commenting on a woman's body. Please contain yourself. Yeah, I know, but it's just a very, he's just like that, and he does that to all the women in the family. And he thinks that he's funny, and this is why I'm always very dry in my response to him. I don't laugh. I don't, entertain this. So this is why he cuts it. It's like he throws a phrase here and there, and then he stops because he knows that, I'm very smiley here, guys, with you, but when I'm serious, I'm very like, that you mess up. So, you know, um, mm, mm-hmm, yeah, projection is a disease. It could by puffiness, so wash our lymphatic draining massage. Yeah, I have to. I remember I had a washer. I have to. Yeah, I should. Yeah, that's why, actually my nutritionist, she told me that. And I had a friend that she was like, because I used to eat when I was at work, I would only have mate with this tiny, rice based kind of crackers. They were very fluffy and just they would melt in your mouth. And back then I wasn't, I wasn't like I was skinny in what I could, because I would be running all the time. But she was like, that's going to make you feel like more like inflammation, because that's made of rice. And I'm like, no, but if this is like zero, it had like very low calories. It was very, very, it was just, it wasn't, the flavor even wasn't that good. And she was like, because it's made of rice, you have to stop consuming rice. And I think that I should, and I love rice. Every time I do rice, it's like probably sometimes, when I watch sometimes I watch Keys, Shiny Keys, when he's in the shows, when he's eating, with others, he's eating out, he's going out to restaurants, or he's cooking himself. And when they have these servings of rice, usually at restaurants, that is like these rounded plates, these rounded things, like it seems like a tin, silver one that is rounded like this. For me, I eat two of those minimum. With sometimes I cook a bit of a beefsteak, a bit of a piece of meat with that. But yeah, I do two of those, and then I'm the happiest. That's my meal. This what I would eat every day, the same food. If you are like, what would you eat for the rest of your life? My life, a tiny piece of meat and rice, and white rice. Just let me white rice with a bit of lemon on it. I will be happy. Let me with those two, and I will be happy. Mm. If you consume a lot of pork as well, you make no matter how you cook it, pork soup or bacon. My dad loves to buy pork sometimes. I don't like it. I don't know why. I prefer, you know, the other meat, red meat. I don't like pork. I don't know why. I eat it if I have to, but I feel it like and I do all the recipes, and I try to, when you try to, you marinate it with different kinds of, um, um, you know, herbs and condiments and everything, but it's not good for me. It's so plain and so like, oh, like, I don't know. In here, it's also pork. It's probably it's cheaper than meat. So, but I'm like, if you're going to get that, don't don't bring it. I'm like, I don't want it. Um, but yeah, I should give up on rice because I tried the integral. Is it integral rice? The brown rice? I don't like the brown rice. I don't like it. It's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. I don't like it. It feels like I'm eating like grains. I'm not liking it. No, no. So if I have to give it up, I will give it up. I'm really good at, I'm someone that if I put my mind into, restrict, not restricting, but if I'm like, this is not good for me, I have to leave it. I can leave it. I just have to set my mind and be like, okay, today is the day. I'm going to leave it. That's it. I'm going to, eat. This is why, sometimes when it comes to, and and this is so funny because since I have intolerance to dairy products, I had it since I was very young. So somehow I don't have a memory of liking actually to eat cheese or butter, or I just, since I'm not used to consuming them, I don't miss them because I don't know what it's like, and I don't like it. The smell of it made me feel nauseous. I don't like it. But then, I was paying attention that sometimes when you have to go on a diet or when you have to recover from something, they cut the dairies out from your diet. They take it out. So I'm like, somehow me being, somehow not consuming dairy products is like I saved a bit of myself. I saved myself a bit. Yeah. I love rice and can't stand brown rice too bad because it's healthy. Yeah, but it doesn't. I know that probably I'm not cooking it well. There's something that maybe I'm not doing well, but I try. I try. I try and I don't like it. No, I don't like it. It's not the same. I want white rice, or if I don't have it, I don't want anything else. It's like I better just, not consume it, but don't give me there's another one, the quinoa. Oh, that one I don't like either. Mm. I'm on healthy diet, so I also restrict myself. Replace milk with oats will make better for environment. Unless egg is okay, boiled. Okay. Yeah, this that what I started to do last summer when I used to go for the walks. I would consume, with the mate, of course. With the mate, I don't drink. This is my coffee. Has mate in it, so it's like a coffee. It has certain, This is why we Argentinians, we are so obsessed with the mate, with the yerba mate. It contains a bit of, somehow you get used to it, your body gets used to it. But it's herbs based, but definitely it must have something. That's why you get, attached to it. Um, and I would have two boiling eggs as breakfast. And actually, I would be very full, very full, very full. I would be like, this is better than actually having like something sweet, because here in Argentina we consume a lot of bakery, a lot of bakery products, a lot of sweet things, and it's like a temptation because you go to buy. We consume a lot of bread also, and if you go to these places to buy bread, there you have it. all in display. It's like, American people about donuts. Donuts, yes, it's the same. We are the same, but we are about pastry products. We're like, oh, that one, oh, that one, and we usually consume a lot of those. And it's like you cannot help it. You always want. It's like a treat. You always want it. But I crave it, but then I feel bad afterwards. This is why my body. I'm like, my body is wise. This didn't happen to me before, when I was 20, in my 20s, and it was in my early 30s. I didn't feel it. Like I would eat anything, but um, I would, I don't know. I think that I would eat anything, but also like I would be very busy, so I wouldn't eat that much. Um, but all it was homemade. I would make my own lunch to take to work. I wouldn't go to McDonald's. I had my coworkers that they would go to McDonald's to have, their lunch. No, for me, I every time I go to McDonald's, I feel like like the smell in the air. I'm like, oh no. I don't have anything high sugar like cake or ice cream unless for birthdays. I also don't consume fried food. Yeah, the thing that is also really good for us. We have we had an air fryer in my house. And it's so useful. Like really, I have been cooking with it so far. I have been using it, and it cooks very fast. All my snacks are low calories as well. I would recommend East Asian snack. Usually whole pack is only around pastries. Yes, pastries. I swear, like if you come here, it's like you and I think that the people, the tourists that they do come here, they get they get very attached to the pastries. Yeah, there's like we have one here that it kind of looks like a croissant, but it's different. It's sweeter and it's more like it's yummy. And we call it media luna. Media luna means like half moon because it has the shape of a half moon. Like um, and and um, also alfajores. The alfajor, we call it to those, like it looks like a macaron, but it's bigger, and it has dulce de leche inside of it, and it's sweeter. It's very yummy alfajores. Bread has a lot of carbohydrates that can make you gain weight, and not super nutritious, but a little is important. Yeah. And also, about bread, because I remember my mom. We will have bread, but she would always like make toasts with it. But for me, I'm more of, I like the squishy part, like the very soft part of the bread. I don't like it when it's like um I don't like it. She used to love like the part, the cover that is more like, you know, um, I don't know how to say the word now. For me, it's like I prefer the soft part of the bread, and that's the part that actually makes you gain more weight. Yeah, the bread leaf. Yes, yes. I remember if I would have bread with her, I would be like, you eat the side, the external part, and I will eat the inside. Just give me the inside. That's why I love panettone so much. like during Christmas time, because it's so it's so nice. It's all very very soft and sweet, not too sweet. Like, next Wednesday, I'm going to do the Romance in 2025 for EXO members. So if someone in here that is watching is a fan of EXO, I'm letting you know guys, that that yeah, next Wednesday is going to be dedicated to EXO members. Speaking of Christmas, what is everyone's wish list this year? I know it's a little early. In my wish list, I have to I have to add a new ring light. Even though this is new, I don't know what happened. I will have to fix it. A new ring light, better lights, because I just feel so like uncomfortable when things don't work. Like I'm like, you know me, I need to have everything under control, and I'm not liking this. But yeah. Then I want a neobomb. NCT's light stick. I want a neobomb, but in here they're so expensive. And actually, it doesn't sell here in the country. I have to buy it, from overseas, I'm sure. But yeah, if I will have a neobomb, I will place it on the back, so with the green color, it would add a bit of. Yay! Yeah, as soon as something does not work, immediately fix it or buy another. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I was thinking about that, Hope. I was thinking about this. Actually, when she said wish list, I was like, I just want peace. This is the first thing that came to my mind. I just want us to all to be safe. I want peace. I'm tired of these aggressive people on power. I'm tired of those people. I'm tired of those people. I don't know how they do to get us to a point where they actually end up in power, because they must be seducing a lot of people, and I think that when you get used to someone being so violent, like for me, when the person is violent verbally, I get, I'm like, I don't care what other things you can say. Once you disrespected me, and once I hear that you keep talking and talking and talking, and it's like you never end. So, I don't know. I just don't like people that are rude. I don't like people that are rude. The president that I do have right now is very rude. Is very rude. And he's a Libra, which is like what? But he's not diplomatic at all. He looks like a madman. When he's talking, he looks like a madman. But well, he got the votes. So what can I say? And I also want like better deals, or better contracts, or better job conditions for idols. I would I hope that before this year ends, a law, something can come up that can be modified in favor of the working idols, because something is not right. Something is not right. So that's also like I hope for that as well, for a better work condition for them. And if some of them needs justice, that they have it also. I don't know. I think that also, this is why I'm like, I love K-pop. I love everything that they bring. I find it very like entertaining, and I'm a fan of theirs. But the way they manage themselves, the way they treat each other, culturally, how things are going, you know, um, I don't agree on certain things about the way they about discrimination, about discrimination among themselves. I'm not even talking about me. I think that we've seen it. The women being also not safe, children. I think that they need to change in a lot of things. They have advanced a lot, maybe when it comes to money and and status, but maybe they need better laws. They need something has to change. Like you cannot have these poor idols as hostage and call it like, oh, back in the days it used to be worse. Well, we are not in the days. This is a new era. And the fans, yes, exactly, Laura. The fans need to change also. The crazy fans, like especially the rich fans, that they think that they can buy their way. This is why, I'm going back to what they allow, because in there what it shows you is that the more you spend, you have a free pass, because you bought this, you bought this ticket, you bought this, you pay for this, so yeah, you get a special treatment. And what about them? um yes, better work conditions, justice, and happiness for idols is important. But yeah, the fans, definitely the fans need some yeah. That I had been calling them out. I had been calling all of us out, because I'm also a fan. I don't go that far, but maybe because I'm 40, and I have other priorities in my life, and I see this as entertainment. But since I had been reading for certain fandoms, and that the dynamic is toxic, and of course we can go back and be like, yeah, but they feed into this. Well, then there this is why I'm like, being proper, like there has to be a part where the idol also has to come forth, being much more, like calling the fans out. It has to be like that. Because if the idol doesn't speak, for them it's like, oh, he will forgive us. No, there has to be a very contundent action of like, you cannot do that. Respect me. They depend on the crazy ones to develop a parasocial bond. That's where all the my fans are my girlfriends stuff comes from. Yes. Look what they did to the poor Songhan. Thank God he's back, but they kicked him out of the group. At the end, they won, because we all, like even the people that were not fans of Rise, we were all celebrating the news that he was supposed to resume activities with the group. He was supposed to be back with the group. And then what happened? These crazy people, I'm sure that these crazy people reach out to the higher ups, and they were like, we will not allow this, and they won. So in there, how that somehow um, it it takes off, the mask. I'm seeing here the Two of Swords, and I'm like, the Two of Swords. So we the fans sometimes, when we think we're looking for, a very fair outcome, or we are like, oh, I'm sure the company is going to do great now, and we are blinded. We are hopeful. We are like, oh well, the outcome can actually be good for them, but then, bam, they do the opposite. They do the opposite. They go after the money, or they go after what benefits them, economically. So I think that also is eye-opening. Like for me, I was very disappointed. And I'm not even a fan of Rice, but I was rooling for that man. And and I think that, when that happened, like for me as a person, as an spectator, I was like, that's so disappointing, the decisions that you make. But it's also like, this is going to always be like this, because this is how they work. This is how they do things. So, I'm not being pessimist, but I think that I'm seeing, and I'm like, this is how they do things. This is how it is. So sometimes we have to pay attention to when someone shows you their true colors, you see it. You pay attention to it. You see it. You acknowledge it. Okay, this is what they did. Because they're not hiding it. Hello. Yes. The companies need to stand up and stop listening to it. I'm not follow him or them, but I hope he reverses and outsells everybody. Saying, I hope that he continues and that they don't throw him to the dungeon. SM always have crazy mistreatment issues as well right now. It is with Giselle from ESPA. Yeah, fans cannot be in denial, no. It makes me think of old Hollywood with how clean everyone's image had to be. They even got married based on who the studio told them to marry. I think after some decades, things will change. Yeah, the things that they sent to him, whew, they were too much. Oh my. There's like a crazy cat. That's not my cat. The florist couldn't pass up the cash. I think I have paid the florist. Yes. Those people even got permits in at least one case. So, wow. Crazy, crazy. Oh, yes. Hives, is it Wang that people were criticizing her face at the airport? She looked amazing. And also, what face do you expect someone to have, like going to an airport? Like, this is why you always have to wear a mask. You have to wear, like certain idols that they wear like a cap, then they cover with a hoodie, and then they have the face mask and the everything on, and sunglasses on, so you cannot criticize. They are not your Barbie dolls. They are people. My God. Also, do you know how bad how, the amount of makeup that they have to wear every day, how it damages your skin? You don't let the face, breathe because you're always wearing something, a foundation, a concealer, something, You have to let the face breathe. Yes, Temin undercover airport style. Yeah, she has to wear a mask. Yes. Don't give them access. Don't give them access to your face. If they want to see you, that they pay to see you. Yes, the idea of having to dress up to go to the airport is so sad. She looked beautiful. I love that face, that natural face. Like she looked like a baby, like so like young and fresh, like a girl of her age. I love this. She looks so beautiful. Yes. Mm. Okay, guys, I'm going to start because then I start ranting a lot and then I cannot leave. Then my mic runs out of battery and I complain. Okay, can you guys see the pinned comment that I left with the names of the people that I'm going to be reading for today? I hope that you guys can see it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start with the idol, Zhang Hao. He's a Leo idol. So yeah, let's see for Zhang Hao for 2025. Let's see. Oh my. He's glowing. The Empress in the middle. He's glowing. I like it. I like it. There's also a girl. Is he getting criticism because of the girl, or is the girl getting criticism because of him? Because I see a woman and I'm like, no. Oh, okay. Okay. We start with the Queen of Wands. We have the Judgment. We have the Empress in the middle. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Pentacles. A very hardworking person, very hardworking. I see him very taking a small steps, but definitely he's working. He's going to be working. But then we have the Five of Swords, in here it says defeat. Defeat. So I think that at some point he will have to get a bit tougher, maybe with sending certain messages or just maybe calling people out also, maybe at the end of the year, because I see criticism. I don't know if if this woman has something to do with this, or if, there's something about, a very powerful, maybe it could be an idol, it could be someone that is also prestigious, is someone that draws a lot of attention to herself, someone very talented, very like taking up the spotlight, and I see judgment. So I'm like, for this idol, for Zhang Hao, I would be like, this cannot be helped, of course, because if this is like a collaboration, probably, there's going to be like more collaborations to come. And also I think that he shines so much in collaborations. There's something with the Empress, there's something about him being so I think that every a project that he touches, he brings a lot of grace, a lot of good luck, even a lot of growth to every project. I don't know much about Zhang Hao, but it seems like, this year is a year of a lot of opportunities. So people shouldn't hang on tight, to like, oh, if he was seen with this person, or if he was doing this collaboration, or if he was doing this with this person, because, he's doing his work, first of all, and also he's not going to stop. So this is why when we have the Five of Swords that it says defeat, maybe he should, at some point, somehow, let the certain people know that you cannot defeat me. Like, you cannot keep, criticizing me or criticizing the people that I work with, because we are trying to stay active. We are trying to give you something new, guys. We are trying to entertain you. We are showing up. I'm trying to be beautiful. I'm shining. I'm glowing. I'm being positive. He is a magnet, I would say. He's a very beautiful person. Very beautiful. But this is not just about beauty. Probably, there's something about this man also, having an stability when it comes to his popularity. Maybe he like the empress is resting very comfortably in their own success. This is not someone that he has to work extra hard, or he has to do extra things in order to get the attention. He gets the attention. It's just that, yeah, with attention there comes a lot of criticism. Or I don't know, I see it that the judgment comes more for the people that are associated with him. Somehow I don't see the criticism going towards him. It's more like if he has a collaboration with a girl, the judgment goes to the girl, of course. It doesn't go to him. But him being the empress, him being also this Venusian, this very, this person that also he wants things to be okay. He's also, a couple of minutes ago, we were talking about, people being disrespectful, and how, I don't like people that are rude. Or I personally have like, an aversion to people that when they speak negatively, or they just, they are very critical, but their criticism is baseless. Like when you criticize because you just want to say something and that's it, and you have like this bad vibe. Well, for someone like this guy, for somehow, it's the same. He's like, I'm here to shine. I'm here to entertain you guys. I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm working. But please, respect me, and respect the people that I work with, because even if it's a girl, even if it's another guy, we are peers, we are colleagues. So please, don't say negative things, or don't go and criticize someone that is close to me, because I feel it like, it's so disrespectful. And he's so, he's so, does he have a moon in Taurus? Somehow, I don't know why I feel it like, he's so, when he speaks, when he expresses himself, he's so like graceful. Like there's something about him being so graceful when he says things. And he's like, I will keep working and I will keep improving, but please, just keep, good manners around me, please. This is what he's asking for. But a very successful year, very successful year. The Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles also it mean that maybe his future projects, they are on the way. He's working on this. He's going to keep working on a lot of projects, but there could be a bit of delays. Things not being fully finished this year. He could have to wait a bit for some things to come out. Maybe next year he will see, some important roles of his finally being able to see the light or being finalized. Because I think that he has to wait a bit. The like the fruits of his labor, he's not going to see it like right away. He has to be patient, he has to wait, probably the moment is not now. But I think that, if he shows up, if his image alone is like a lot of prosperity. It brings a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundance. I can also see him trying to, make people come together. There's something about him just wanting everyone to get along. This is why I'm saying this about, him being like, I don't want rude people around me. I don't want bad energy. But I think that also with the Five of Swords at the end, it's like at some point, you also have to be a bit like, you know, decisive when you call people out, or he probably is like against calling people out, but at some point maybe he will have to be a bit assertive about this, not silent, because some people don't get it. Some people don't get it. I don't know if also in his fandom there's like toxic people, or there's people comparing him with others, and he's like, no, we are all the same. We are all here working. We are trying to make it. We are trying to be professional. Please be kind. But he's in a really good mood. I think that he's a very lucky guy, and whoever has him on his on his team, on their team, whoever has this man is going to be very, very prosperous, because he brings his beauty, he brings his stability. He's also someone that doesn't rush in processes. He trusts himself very well. He has like a very stable self-esteem. At least this year, it feels like this. But I don't know if, because I see this woman in the judgment. So does he come from a period of being judged because of a woman, or because of a girl, or a dating rumor, or something like this? Because I see it more on the past. But, somehow he's overcoming this, with the Empress in the middle. I think that he's trying to remain very zen, very calm, very much in himself, in his own body, in his own resources. He's a very resourceful person. He's a very talented person. Also, probably, this year when it comes to projects, he will have to be patient about this. And also, to each project, give it the amount of time and effort that it requires. Not less, not more. With the six of Pentacles, there's also about, a contract. It's like, okay, you guys are having delays. Okay, you are not calling me because you have issues. Okay, I will wait. But this year, he will not go crazy. He's not out of control. He's not stressing. He's like, okay, you guys, when it's my time, you call me. I will be there. Maybe this is about the group as well. I don't know what group he's in. I don't remember right now. But I think that somehow he's like, adapting to whatever is available. It's just that maybe this is like a man that he's like a one-man show. So somehow when he appears, it seems like he's the sun, literally, while he's a Leo. So it sort of makes sense that he draws a lot of attention to himself. I mean, he's very magnetic. So he's like, if there's delays and I have to wait for certain projects to, finally pay off, I will wait. Because it seems like it's going to take a while. So it's not going to be right now. Oh, wait. Well, he does have, the Empress. So maybe there's something very feminine about him. This is why I'm like, does he have like Taurus moon? Like, is something very soft about him? I'm like, what is? He's not forcing anything. He's just like all magnificent and just so beautiful. Like, he's so Venusian. The girl probably, coming as the Queen of Wands is more energetic. It's more like, I'm here to take over the stage, He's so nice. Like, now I'm curious. I'm going to watch what he does, because he's so like, No one can take the spot away from him. He will not do anything, and he will still shine. His beauty is that effortless. Also, it reminds me, when I read for Songhan this year for 2025. He got also, even though, next week he had very challenging cards, but in the middle he also got the Empress. So the Empress is like, you have the talent. You have the talent, you have the face, you have the poster, you have the good luck. You don't stress over success. Success comes to you. You attract it, very, even if people want to bring you down, but your whole presence is like a statement of prosperity and beauty. So they cannot ruin that for you, even if they want to, and they try. Okay, I'm going to start with the Chinese actors and actresses. I apologize in advance if I butcher any of these names with with the pronunciation. I apologize. I will try my best. This is why I left, the names in there, so you can, if you can, read it. It's going to make more sense than me, saying it. Okay. I'm going to read for the actor Zhang Xincheng. Zhang Xincheng. Zhang Xincheng. Zhang Xincheng. 2025. This man is very sensitive. I mean, this year is very sensitive, but at the same time, it seems like his job is very demanding, or maybe the conditions that he's working under are very demanding, very chaotic, I would say. Okay, we start with the Temperance. We have the Ten of Swords. I have the Five of Wands in the middle. I have the Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords. And then we have the High Priestess, Intuition. I think that he went through something like, it feels like like a very long battle, of him trying to overcome something. We start with the Empress and the Ten of Swords. So I'm like, why is this man so stressed? He's really working on this. He has been working on this. Could this be health issues? But he feels very like, I think that it's a whole, maybe this year or the past year, mentally, I don't think that it's physically, but maybe there's a lot of criticism, or there's a lot of things being said about him that somehow, this spoils his ability to enjoy things, his ability to relax even. In the middle, we have the Five of Wands. So I'm like, is this that he's like, is this part of a role? Does he have like an action role, or actually does he is really literally fighting people? Because I think that it doesn't matter where he goes. There's something like I don't know. I feel like I have to put my hands up. Like, wait, like, are you judging me again? Like, is this how it's going to be? I mean, I think that he's in the near future. There's a new project. Coming. There's something that he has been working on. But also the Four of Swords is like, I'm so mentally tired that I just want to release this project or release this news, and I just want to rest. I don't want to be that, involved. Maybe when it comes to communication, if people are like, oh, we want to see you, or we want you to tell us, or, to do promotions about this, he's like, he's so, I think that he really needs to preserve his mental health, or he needs silence, or he needs to stay away a bit from exposure. Because we also have the high priestess that is his intuition. So it's more like about him probably listening to others, or listening to other people's feedback, and not acting that much, not saying that much about himself, protecting his own peace, protecting his own aura, I would say. I think that he is someone that somehow, with the Five of Wands, I think that he's used to maybe this rhythm, or maybe is the industry that is very hostile towards people like him, or they expect a lot from him, and he's like, I will put my force, I will put my passion, and I will endure this, or I will confront this. But then, I also want to calm down a bit, But I see a new project of his being, I don't know if he started something new very recently, or if he delivered a new project or a new work and people are against this, because also there's like a lot of competition. It seems crowded. It seems crowded. I think that he's trying his best to not be, sorry, to not being bothered by other people's opinions, or other people's, he's like, okay, I have to silence my mind. But I don't know if people compare him to others, but it seems like maybe the industry this year, it feels very chaotic, or it feels like there's a lot of projects, there's a lot of people maybe, releasing things that are new. And he's like, I have to somehow get competitive myself. Otherwise, I will not be able to make it. But yeah, like I get very overwhelmed with this man's energy. Like, he needs to rest, and he needs to not engage. Do not say anything. Do not say anything, because whatever you say, it will be used against you. So, just remain silent, please. Remain silent. Just, yeah, let them talk, but you don't say anything. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actress. I believe this is an actress, Tian Xiwei. Tian Xiwei. Tian Xiwei. Tian Xiwei. Tian Xiwei. Lot of work. I like it. Teamwork. That is important. She feels much more grounded than the last person. She feels much more like, like she's very well established, or she has her people. The outcome maybe of her projects are very popular, or, she's sort of, she had the kind of victory. So who is this woman? Is she going to get like a lot of awards, recognition? I see her winning something, so definitely. For this actress, Tian Xiwei, we have the Nine of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and we have the Four of Swords. And we have the Six of Wands, victory. So, wow, this woman is so she's so organized. Like there's something about her organizing her methods. Maybe she has a method to work. She's like, okay, she's giving me protagonist vibe. I wonder if she's like, she's used to being the protagonist, or she's used to being, the important one, or, just, she knows her value. She knows her value, and she's very strategic about like, okay, I know my value. You are not giving me less of what I deserve. She's a bit stubborn. She's a bit stubborn. She doesn't like to negotiate, ways of like, okay, I will adapt to whatever you give me. She's like, no, I have experience, I have I don't know, the popularity. She has everything. So she's like, I am a person of value and I'm very talented. So you will give me what I deserve. She's very, she's very strategic. um she's very, at least this year, there's a lot of stability. There's a lot of stability, people working with her and for her. Probably also if she has fans, there's something about the fans also being like all together, like a happy family or community, that they really love her. They really love her. Probably, people that work with her, they love her so much as well. But I think that is because she has like I said before, she has a system. Maybe when she goes to work, there's something about her being like, these are my conditions, I work like this is my style. She comes with instructions. She comes with instructions. She comes with, this is how I do things. So, things don't get messy around her, because she's already going to tell you how she's going to do things. So it sort of gives I don't know why I want to say, like, it feels like this is like a very old school kind of style of her, being like, guys, this is my role, this is how I'm going to do things, this is the way I work. And she brings this to others, and the others are like, yeah, whatever you say. With the Three of Pentacles, um a lot of recognition, and from her peers as well. Like there's a lot of if she's collaborating with others, like people love her because I think that she's someone that she doesn't give you surprises nor headaches. She's someone that she's very structured, very confident. She knows what she has to do, so you don't have to follow her around, and be like, okay, what is she going to do now? But there's like a lot of work also in here, and very well done. I wonder what project she's part of, but whatever it is, it's going to pay off. It's going to give her the victory, the recognition that she deserves, with the 10 of Cups and also the 4 of Swords. She probably, she's going to enjoy of, a lot of love, a lot of, people being very positive towards her, people being very grateful towards her. I wonder what she does besides being an actress, because it seems like she's part of a community, or she has like a family, or she's, very close friends with a community of actors or a community of other people, that she's integrating all of them. I think that in here, even though she starts, as the Nine of Pentacles, she enters with her tools, with her abilities, with her knowledge of herself and her craft. But then, she also moves towards her career, more like being balanced with others. It seems like she's very fair with her coworkers, with her people. She's very fair. She's very collaborative. She's, I think that she's a great person, and I see success in the future. I think that then, with the 4 of Swords, she probably needs to rest a bit. I don't know why. I think that she also needs to rest. Maybe, she has been working very hard, and I don't see challenges, thank God. But I think that it's, this is bigger than her. I wonder if this is about the production, what she has been working on, who she has been collaborating with, or who she has been working with, that it seems like everything is done perfectly and so harmoniously, that this is why she has the victory at the end. So I wonder if she's going to win some awards. But yeah, very good. Very good for her. I do like it. Okay, I'm going to continue with Zhang Linghe or Linghe. Zhang Linghe or Linghe. I don't know how it's pronounced. Is it Linghe or Linghe? Zhang Linghe. Zhang Linghe. Zhang Linghe. Oh, a lot of major arcanas. Is this man okay? I mean, has something happened to him recently? He's recovering, but I'm like, is he okay? Okay, we start with the Page of Wands in reverse. We have the Hermit. We have the Sun in the middle. We have the Death card. And we have the Star card. And then I have the Nine of Swords, that is anxiety. So probably this year is a year of a lot of, spiritual lessons, I would say. I'm not sure about work, because I don't see it. I think that the having this reading that it has a lot of major arcanas, the message is deeper. It's for him as a person, not so much of what he can accomplish, when it comes to, productions and work. And I think that, we start with the Page of Wands in reverse and we have the Hermit. This is why I'm like, was he in hiatus? Was he in some kind of hiatus? Was he taking a break? Because I think that he, the Page of Wands in reverse, there's something about him wanting to initiate something. Maybe at the beginning of the year, he wanted to start something, or he wanted to, I don't know, invest in something or do something very impulsively. He was very passionate about it, but maybe, because it wasn't very well built, there's something that with the Hermit, there's this also, we are in the year of the Hermit, the card of the Hermit, the major arcana. So somehow it's like, review this better, study your options better, do not jump right away to a project that maybe it wasn't going to be that fulfilling or that good for him. I think that also the Page of Wands is like, when you actually want to start something, or you want to continue being maybe active or doing something, because you're like, I'm this year, like usually we begin the year and we're like, yeah, I want to do this, and then I want to do this, but actually I don't want to do them. The Page of Wands in reverse is giving me like, actually I wasn't that passionate about it. I just said that I wanted to do it, but it's not like I really feel it. There's something about his energy also feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed. This is why we have the Nine of Swords, that is his anxiety. There's something about, what he does and what he says are two different things. And maybe this year is more about like, you don't have to do much to be a star. We have the Sun in the middle. So with the Sun, there's something also about him probably, doing appearances or just showing up here and there, and he's shining so much, or him having fun and him just enjoying this. But it's all about him. It's not so much about like, oh, I'm tied up to this project that is going to take 2 years to be made, or it's going to be a long journey and I have to be committed to this because it's going to be released. I don't know when, so I think that 2025 is more like, you better take, appearances here and there, and you go and you shine and you are more authentic and you are more spontaneous and you have fun and you are not attached to maybe a project that is not that fulfilling. I think that he's a very hardworking person, but maybe he went through some kind of burnout, because with the kind of the anxiety, I'm like, this man, his mind has been like so worried, also having insomnia, having anxiety, maybe he's anxious about his future. He's probably not sure about the next projects. He's like, I done this, but I don't think that people like it, and I don't know. And actually, the more he worries, the more it seems like it dims his light. It's like he starts losing his glow, the reason why people love him so much. So I think that he has to treat this anxiety about the future and just like do whatever makes you happy. Probably the audience wants to see a more playful side of him, a more relaxed side of him, him showing up and just being his youthful self, or him being funny, him being goofy, him acting like a child even. People are like embracing this. They love his authentic self. It's not so much like, oh, you have to be this perfect character. No, people want to see the real him. But he's going through some kind of transformation this year. We have the death card and we have, the star card. So somehow his destiny is changing. Maybe things that he used to enjoy, or, things that he thought that they were meant to be a certain way, they are changing. They are transforming. Maybe he's going through an ending. He's going through I don't think that it has to do with others. It's an internal and personal process of his, where he has to maybe review what is a stardom for him and what is his destiny. What is your destiny? What is your purpose? What do you want to see yourself doing, in 5 years? Like, project, like, what do you want to do with your ability to shine? But be authentic. Do it choose from a place of, of authenticity, of warmth, of accepting yourself and your abilities. And don't choose from fear, don't choose from anxiety, because I think that he's worried about something. I don't know if he's worried about, his permanence in the industry. Maybe for these people, what I notice is that, when you do well, it's a great year and you do amazing, but then, for some of them it's challenging and they worry. They worry about their status. They worry if they are loved, if the work that they are doing, people love it. They worry. They worry. So I can see him, being anxious about his future. But also he has, with the death card and the star card, he has to, transform his idea of what is it like to be successful for you. What is success for you? Change it. Change it. Because it cannot give you this level of anxiety. And also I think that there's something about the cards being like, it's all about you. It's not about who you collaborate with. It's more like, people want to see him. So maybe he has to, instead of, embarking in these long projects, or, where there's other stars, or, more like, why don't you do a private project? Use your image, use your influence, use your face, use everything, but, focus on you, what you can give to the audience, more than collaborations. Don't get lost in what others expect of him, because maybe that's what is getting him anxious, that once he starts a project with someone, somehow he has to change or adapt to other people, and it's maybe a long contract, and he's like, I had it with that system. I had it. I know something has to change. I know there has to be another way of working, but not like this. But it's okay, because somehow I think that his inner child is like, you're supposed to be having fun with this. What is the point if you're not having fun with this? People want to see him smile, enjoy himself, not stress. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actress Yang Si. Yang Si. Yang Si. Yang Si. Okay, for her, we start with the Ace of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Hangman in the middle, the Lovers, and we have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Seven of Wands that is as defense. So this is another actress. This is another actress that I think that she's also reviewing her options. I also feel her very wise, very experienced, I would say. With the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles is giving me status, is giving me that, whatever, she invests in, somehow, she's very loved, or people just get very emotionally attached to her characters, maybe. There's something about her being very, just very successful. And also maybe she is seasoned. Could it be that she has been doing this for a very long time? I don't know how old she is, but it seems like she has a lot of experience. She has a lot of experience. And somehow maybe people connect with her from a place of emotionality, where they are like, oh, she always delivers these great roles or these great performances where I feel it in me. Whenever she does something, I feel it, and she's so good at this. She's also very splendid. There's something about her just being very, prosperous and rich and fancy. I don't know, maybe she's so beautiful and like a timeless beauty, and people are like, oh, I just love to watch her, because she evokes these feelings in you. It's like when you see her, she's like so prosperous, she's like so confident, and you know that it's going to be good. But in the middle we have the Hangman. So I wonder what she's like thinking about, or she's processing. What is she thinking about about her. I don't want to say about her career. I think that is in general, and this is the same for the last guy that I read before her. It's the same. It's like this personal, somehow these are times where maybe these people have invested a lot of time and a lot of years in the industry. So somehow they are also reviewing about, the industry, what it is about, or what it is to be successful, what it is to make it these days, and probably things are changing, and maybe roles are getting a bit repetitive, and people of experience, they somehow are seeing like things are repeating themselves, and they're like, do I really want to invest my time and energy in this? Because I think that maybe I don't know how is how is the process of shooting a movie or a drama for these people, but it seems like for them it's like, I don't know why it feels like they are like, this can take years. And I don't know if it's literally like it takes years to shoot a drama, but I think that it feels like 1,000 years. It feels like you are stuck in that role for years and years, and maybe it's because people I don't know, they do appreciate your work, and you are stuck in that role for them in their minds or their perception of you. With the handman, I think that she's sort of like taking a pause, and she's like reviewing what is going on in the media, or what is going on, or what is being said. So she's like also not doing much. Also with the lovers and the Four of Cups, there's propositions, there's some interesting new projects that could come up, but she's not sure about them. She's a bit apathic about them. She's like, oh, well, yeah, I don't know, I don't feel it like it's me. I don't feel it. She doesn't feel it like it resonates with her or where she is at this moment. And also the Seven of Wands, defense. She's defending herself from something. There's something about this, sort of apathy. Somehow she's protecting herself from choosing, also probably making a bad decision, or her choosing something that inside she's like, this is not what I want to do. I'm not satisfied with this. I'm not satisfied. This is why she's like, reflecting, and also she's like on pause, and she's reviewing, and there's options. There could be two options for future projects, and she's like, well, yeah, I'll see, maybe next year. This year, it feels like, and also she comes from this. She comes from the Queen and the Ace of Cups. So she had worked already this year, maybe. She had delivered. She had been successful. She had done something important. So there's something about her holding also, stopping the brakes a bit and being like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? Is this good for me? But also, I think that there is something very interesting, because somehow for some people that I have been reading here, I see them very lonely in this decision making. This is why it feels like it's deeper than just choosing the next project. It feels like it's personal. It's like I'm choosing how my next lifestyle is going to be. So it's not just choosing a role. It's like their whole life changes if they choose to embark in a role. So, and I see them very lonely in this decision making. And I think that they are like, I sort of need to be lonely, because if I would hear other people, they would be like, no, you should do it. Yes, go for it. Yes, that these days you have to take whatever comes, because you have to keep going, because competition is tough, and how things, it's not going to be like this forever. So you have to make the most of this. It's a very competitive, but there's something giving me that, the propositions, or maybe the work, is not that attractive. And especially when you're someone that probably has like a good, you know, um, a good experience, or you have done the work, so you are very intelligent, and you're like, yeah, this that you're showing me is not interesting at all. I don't want to do this. So yeah, I will let you know. But actually, it's because it's more polite to say I will call you, instead of like, I don't want to do this. But she's like resisting. She's like, I'm not in the mood. She's not feeling it. And also with the card of defense, I wonder what she's like. She feels a bit on the defensive. I wonder what happened, or what is going on with her, that she's like, maybe it could be that she has an issue with someone, like a manager, like a man. I don't know why, but she has an issue with a man, a powerful man. Okay. I'm going to continue with Zhao Liying. Zhao Liying, an actress, I believe. Zhao Liying. Zhao Liying. Another one that doesn't know what she wants. Another one. Um, yeah, but she's not sure, but she's determined. She got the Queen of Wands twice, so she's in maybe her career is more like, you know, I have to move, I have to keep working. You know, this is not time for me to stop. But yeah, we have the Queen of Wands, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Two of Cups in the middle, we have the Two of Pentacles, and then we have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Wands. It says determination. So yeah, she's a very determined person. I think that she's like, could it be that her character or her personality is very high up? It's very like she talks too much, or not talks too much, but it seems like she has like a very bossy attitude. Like, here I come, here I am. Like, because she has the Queen of Wands twice. So I wonder if she's like, she has this strong personality, or maybe her characters are more like the strong, the person that defends themselves, that speak up their minds. I see her like this. Also, she's very proud. Sorry, guys, I got disconnected. She's very proud of herself, very proud. There's something, with the Two of Cups. Is she, there's a relationship, or there's like, is she being shipped with a co-star, or are people talking about her relationships, or her and her dynamic with another person? Because for her, it's like, yeah, at the end, it's all about us. There's something about her also being very mindful about this, probably people, if she's part of this like romantic kind of maybe a genre that is romantic, or she usually plays like someone's, romantic partner, romantic interest. She is, her value this year is all around this connection. So somehow she has to invest in this connection. She's like, this year is not so much about me, it's more about us. It's more about this connection, this love story, this this dynamic, or this this chemistry that I have with someone. I don't see someone, I don't see a co-star, I don't see someone, but I think that she's very smart in this sense. If she is part of a ship, or if she is part of a duo with someone that is very popular, she's like, I'm going to do my best. The people, what they want. She's like, I can flirt. I can give you romance. You want me to be romantic? You want me to be flirtatious? You want me to be the woman of your dreams? I think that, I don't know if she has these roles that is all about partnerships, but she's like, I can do this. I will soften my character, and I will be your damsel in distress, and she's so funny. Because there's a bit of irony in this, because we do have the queen. So the queen is more sharp, the queen is more bossy. The queen is like, a man? Why would I need a man? Like, but somehow, the Two of Cups in the middle is like, yeah, unfortunately, I do have to be part of a successful partnership. It's me and the other person. I cannot make it on my own. So maybe she's part of a ship, or she's part of an important duo relationship connection with someone that makes her shine. At least this year, I see it, that it's very important, collaborate, reach to an agreement with that person, show yourself with that person, invest in this connection. So I wonder if someone thinks that she's in a relationship with a co-star of hers, or someone, because I do see that, this year it's not so much about her, it's more about her and this person and the other person. So she has to also honor this, that you have this I don't know, good chemistry with this person, that you have this good understanding with this person, that you like this person, honor this, um, don't fight it. This is beneficial for her future. If she's been shipped with someone, it's good for her career. So she has to, keep, investing in this through all this year. Probably it's not so much about her individually, it's more about her and the other person. So yeah, it's about embracing this partnership. But yeah, the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Cups. I think that there's something about her, maybe eventually she will move on from this partnership, maybe at the end of the year. And also she will have to review, like, okay, what do I do from now? How do I move on from this? I think that she could have another option to do something new. She's been offered another project, but she's also not sure about this. With the Four of Cups, I think that what is going on with women in this industry, that they are like, oh, this role you're giving me? Oh, wow. This is so uninteresting. They're like, oh, wow, this is so, again, this one? I don't know why I feel it like this, but I have to say it. She's not that convinced. But, well, at least she's getting options. At least she's getting something new. So this is good. This is good. But she's like, yeah, I will see. I will let you know next year. But yeah, the Queen of Wands, determination. She cannot stop. She cannot stop. But also, I think that it's very important um, to say that this is a woman of character. She has a lot of character. She has a lot of presence. She speaks her mind. She has a strong character. Yeah, she can soften to be, someone's princess, someone's love interest. But inside, when it comes to business, or maybe herself as a person, as an individual person, she is very intelligent and she is very strong in her character. This is why we have the card of determination. I think that she's determined to keep working, to keep advancing, but at the same time, she demands respect. She demands respect. She probably is like, please don't get me these silly kind of plots. Like, I want to be special, or I want to do something interesting. Please give it to me. Like, don't make me go through these silly roles. It's like, I can be humorous, but somehow with the Queen of Wands, she's also looking for recognition, or she's looking for more mature roles. So yeah, I like it. I like her energy, because she's like, ha ha ha. She's all smiley, but she's like telling you how she really feels behind all those smiles and all those compromises that she makes. She's like letting you know, okay, this is how I really feel. Okay, guys. Before I move on, I'm going to change. So I kind of want to, I want to get ahead of having to change it. Okay. I'm going to continue with the actor Chen Xinhai. Chen Xinhai. Chen Xinhai. Wow. Is this man also being shipped with their partner, their co-star, or are people so interested, invested in who he's dating, if he's dating? I think that it's all for cameras, but you know, the two of cups is in the middle. Okay, a lot of major arcanas. Wow. Okay, we have the Judgment, the Empress, the Two of Cups in the middle, just like the last actress. Is he the counterpart of the last actress that I read before? The Sun and the Moon. And we have the Seven of Wands defense again. So he is on the defensive this year. He is on the defensive. It's just that, you know, there's something just very interesting, especially when I see the moon and the moon card and the sun card is like the duality in his life. This is also a very sensitive person, a very sensitive artist, a very sensitive man. I think that he would do very well if he's like in romantic genres. I think that with his sensitivity, he's able to connect very well with his co-stars. I can see him that he's really good at this. But I wonder, you know, because the energy that he comes from, we have the Judgment and we have the Empress. So I wonder if he was a bit judged in the past, or lately people, could it be that people judge him because of his looks? Because with the Empress, definitely I see beauty. I see beauty. I see that he's very popular. Definitely, he does have it. You know, nevertheless, the Empress is in here, so he must be popular. He must be beautiful. But with the Judgment, I wonder if there have been certain conversations, maybe online, of course, you know, people talking about his appearance or people comparing him with others. I mean, like, oh, you know, he's not as good looking as the other. Or, you know, at first I didn't like him or I didn't like the way he looked. But then he had a sort of glow up and people like sort of questioning his popularity somehow, being like, okay, where this person came from, you know? So but at the end I think that with the Empress he shows you that, you know, if you're a talented person you make it at the end, you know, in spite of, you know, the toxic judgment and criticism, you make it at the end. And in the middle we have the Two of Cups. So for me it's like if he's like if this year he's also part of a partnership, or there's like a ship between him and someone else, or he's promoting a role, a project of his, a movie, a drama where he is like in he's romantic or he's in a romantic relationship with you know, in the plot, I think that he could do. I think that romance this year it feels very prosperous for him. I think that it's all. I don't know why. You know, and this that I say, you know, I think that it sort of applies for a lot of Chinese actors or actresses that I have been reading so far. But I have this perception that I don't know if you guys are fans. Maybe you guys can tell me. But I feel like, you know, partnerships or who you associate with or who you have chemistry with or who you work with, especially from the opposite sex, I think that it has a lot of value, more than if the drama was good or if the performances were perfect or if the, you know, the whole production was well done. I think that there's something about the Two of Cups here. Every time it appears in the reading, for me, it's like, you know, for them, partnerships or associations or connections are very important. So at the end, it's not about what he wants individually. It's what he can achieve with a potential co-star or what he can achieve with a love interest, you know, someone. So for him, you know, probably, you know, having these good chemistries or playing these roles or of being in a relationship with someone it can boost his popularity. And maybe this year is this, this is the case. It's like the cards are like, you do need of the other part. You make sure that you have a great relationship with your co-star, or a very close relationship with your coworker, or like, you cannot make it alone. It's all about you and the other person, and you have to make it. You have to, I don't know why I want to say you have to live for the other. You have to exist because of the other. It's like your popularity cannot exist if the other part doesn't exist as well. So it's like you have to make it magical. You have to make it perfect. Your career depends on this. So it feels deep. It feels deep. But it also talks about agreement. There's something about, maybe he knowing this, or maybe the fans, or maybe, the stars, the actors know about this. But somehow, the cards are telling me this. And I'm like, because if this was like a real relationship, I would see the person. But I don't see it. It's more like, this is for your benefit. This is like a sort of a strategy. You have to build great chemistry with others. You have to make it like this so people can remember you. But then, yeah, we have the sun card and we have the moon card. So I think that, I think that the year can end well, but in here we have the duality again. I think that because he's a very sensitive person, also these major arcanas in here are like, maybe he's like thinking about, like, I want to change the styles of work that I have been doing. I'm having like this internal crossroads, where I'm also like evaluating. He probably, I don't know if he has like these roles where he's very cheerful and just very, um, positive. And somehow with the moon card, he's like, I want to explore deeper, maybe deeper subjects, deeper meanings. He wants to go dark. He wants to, maybe do roles that require of him getting a bit much more into his darker emotions, into maybe a bit depressed or something like this. But it feels like he wants to get in touch with that very deep side of himself. But yeah, the Seven of Wands, it says defense. So he's also someone that maybe this year, I don't know what is going on in his life, but, he is a bit on the defensive. Probably, he's also evaluating like, okay, people expect this of me, and I'm not sure if I can give them what they want or if I can continue the same road. He wants to evolve. He wants to mix different possibilities. He wants to embrace different sides of himself. He's a very complex artist. I think that he can do a lot of things, or maybe play two characters at once. There's a duality in him. This is why I mentioned the duality before, the bright side and the dark side. Because probably he is like this, he's someone that probably, he's also like, I don't show myself the way that I am. I smile a lot, but when I'm by myself, I'm a bit moody. I'm actually a bit, my character changes all the time, and I'm not that smiley. I'm not that confident. I'm not that positive. I'm a very moody person. His character fluctuates, and this is why we have the Seven of Wands, because there could be a sort of like, maybe people expect him to act a certain way, and he's like, I cannot do those things. I can be a way, I can smile for a while, but then, I also have a way of being, and I don't want to change that. He probably wants to be taken seriously, and not like, oh yeah, smile here and do this here and be cute. He's like, it's tough. And on the defense, I think that he's also protecting himself. I wonder, again, just like the other actress, that she also got the Seven of Wands at the end, what is going on with him personally, that he feels like he has to shield himself from the audience. Like, what is going on? Did something happen? Because I think that he doesn't fully trust. Neither the I don't want to say the company. Why would I say the company? Neither the audience nor the public, the public nor the industry. There's something about him not trusting. Him being with his cards up. He'd be like, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actress Yu Shuxin. Yu Shuxin. Yu Shuxin. Yu Shuxin. Okay, we start with the Ace of Cups. We have the Page of Wands in reverse again. We have the World card in the middle. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Fool. And we have the Eight of Swords, that the keyword says self-victimization. Self-victimization. So definitely this person is an actress. She's going through because also, she delivered something. She also, this is someone that she worked probably like at the beginning of the year or maybe last year. She did her work. She's a very, abundant person. She probably worked, she showed up, she did her best, she smiled to the cameras, she showed up. She was very productive, and also what she gives is of value, and she gives it from her heart. She's a real like artist, I would say, very sensitive, but also full of inspiration. It's just that with the Page of Wands in reverse again, I don't know why in this deck is in reverse, because I don't read reversals, but since it came up in reverse, it means that there's something about her probably, investing a lot of herself in this project, that she was like, okay, I love this. This is she's someone that is giving me that she loves, or she has to love what she does. And I think that she does have like all her projects. She's like, they're my babies, I love them all. It's just that with the Page of Wands in reverse, there's something about, maybe the start of this production, or when she was working on this, maybe it wasn't well received, or maybe she wasn't being burned out, or she didn't act to her fullest potential. There's something with the Page of Wands, like, I was a bit out of energy, or maybe my energy was low, or my delivery was low, or people expected of me to be a certain way, or to deliver a certain quality that, I wasn't able to deliver. But at the same time, probably did very well nevertheless, because I think that the people love her very much. And also she's very hardworking, and for an actor to be like this is because maybe, they weren't well guided, or the project was a bit like confusing, or it changed all the time, or there's something about her. I'm usually very energetic, but this time they drained me. They drained me. They drained my energy, my willpower to make it. But in the middle, we have the World card. So she's definitely closing a cycle. She's learning from this experience. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm not perfect. There's something about her being like, I'm not perfect. And I think that she's like, I also have to attend to different sides of myself. Besides being an actress, I'm also a person. So I need to focus on growing on different sides of myself, not to put all my coins or all my energy in one basket, in one aspect. I don't know if people, does she work a lot, or is she part of a lot of projects? Because I think that maybe this last one was like, it was a bit weak, I would say, or it caught her off guard because it wasn't well planned. But I think that she's learning from this. With the World Cup, it's like, I'm sort of accepting that, maybe I very impulsively, I sometimes choose projects, and then, once I'm on it, I'm like, oh, this is a mess. I shouldn't have said yes. But I think that at the end she makes it, and she loves so much being an artist. She loves it so much that it pays off. Is successful. It gives people what they want. It's just that maybe she didn't feel that confident about it. But with the World cards, she's like going through cycles about herself, about her image, about what she wants to do next. She definitely is ready to start something new. First, she has to calm down a bit. With the Four of Swords and the Fool card, yeah, a brand new beginning of hers is coming very soon. Probably she's going to embark in a new project very soon, because I see the new beginning. Probably it's a very ambitious idea, very maybe a bit crazy idea, but it's original. It's original. It's just that first, she has to, calm down a bit mentally. Calm down a bit mentally, rest, slow down. I think that there's something with the World card that she's someone that she's open for everyone. I don't know. She's like that person that this is not about being an artist. This is probably about her being like this in her personal life. Just being open and available for everyone. And somehow, with the World card, it's like, you are just one person. You cannot split yourself in thousands of tiny parts just to satisfy others. I think that she needs to be quiet. She needs to rest. She needs to stop overthinking. Like, she has to hush her mind before she embarks in this new beginning that is coming. Because with the Eight of Swords, that it says self-victimization. For me, I don't think that is self-victimization, but I think that probably, maybe she receives some backlash or criticism, or I think that a lot of people have access to her, like they can say whatever to her. I don't know why. But she feels affected by this, and there's moments where she's like, but I cannot help it. I have to listen to them, or I have to listen to what they have to say, and I have to understand, and I have to be open. And no, you don't have to be open. You can take it. Yeah, okay, this is what you think. Okay, you didn't like it. Well, great. Go watch something else. Don't follow me then. But I think that there's something about her, and also with the Walker is giving me like, does she have a lot of fans, like even international fans? Because I think that also probably, having fans from overseas, maybe it helps to also expand her awareness that she doesn't have to be that harsh on herself, that she's loved. She's loved, but also she is just one person. She cannot do everything perfectly, and being liked by everyone. There's always going to be people that are going to be like, oh no, we don't like you. So the Eight of Swords is like, okay, it could be a bit of victim mentality, but she also has to stop giving access to people, especially mentally. Like, just, close the laptop, close the internet, and just like go and liberate yourself. Start over. But don't give them access to your mind, to your consciousness. I think that she needs to stop. Like, maybe if she reads comments or if she receives certain feedbacks, it's like, no, because they're going to, they're going to burn her. They're going to burn her down. They're going to take away her ability to enjoy this that she does. And sometimes we forget that these people are human, and it's just a person. It's just, and I don't know why I want to say like she's one tiny person. Why do I want to say like, is she that small? Because there's something about maybe like she's just a tiny person. Can you leave her alone? But also like, don't take it, drop the swords of your back. Don't let them limit your way, your path, your advances, because this is not about advances. I definitely see a new beginning, a new project, so she's going to keep working. This is not about someone stopping her, but somehow there's something about her having to have like sort of detox of her social media, or maybe go no contact with certain people. It's like, don't stop being so open and available. Like, stop it. Just limit the comments or block people. But you need to rest. You need to rest. You need silence. Stop giving them the attention. Stop it. Because they do this to everyone. It's just that maybe with her they have a sort of vendetta. Okay, guys, I'm going to continue with Dylan Wang. Dylan Wang. Oh. Hmm. What is going on with this man? With Dylan Wang? We start with the death card. We have the King of Swords. We have the King of Cups in the middle. We have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Five of Pentacles. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. That is a cycles. Thank God. Thank God. Like somehow the cards are like, this is just a cycle. This shall pass. But it's tough this year for him. And why are there so many kings in here? I think that the one in the middle is his, but did he have like a legal battle or an issue with a powerful man, or a man, maybe a lawyer, or was there the law involved? Because I think that he sort of ended maybe a long battle, or a long argument, or a long a disagreement with a very powerful man, maybe someone from the media also, someone that maybe wanted to drag him down or something like this, or wanted to ruin him or take his money. I don't know. It felt like was the justice involved or something like this, because this man feels very like like very powerful, and just very, very good also with laws, and and business and ideas and communication, and maybe he manages the media also. But with the death card, maybe this was like an old feud, or an old battle, or an old disagreement that he had with this person, and they maybe parted ways, or they separated. They maybe he doesn't work with this person, or this is a company manager, CEO, I don't know. But yeah, I think that this man, Dylan Wang, I think that he's doing his best to turn his back to this awful confrontation, like this, to this awful confrontation, or maybe these like unnecessary fights or arguments, and him defending himself and having to also fight back. I think that probably his mindset has his energy or his attitude has softened a bit. He has become, after all this, I don't know why I want to say like it's a long battle with someone. Somehow he also had to become very cold, very strategic, very harsh, very combative himself, to somehow face this person. But since this is like been left behind, and it's an old part of the chapter that is over, he's coming back to somehow connect with his intuitive side, maybe showing up for the people that loves him and talking to these people, the people that are waiting for him, or the people that send him love or support him. He's becoming much more like gentle towards them, and it's like more like looking at the future and what he can offer. And also he's probably like talking to the people that he really cares about and that care for him as well. He has become much more empathic, much more humble, much more like understanding and loving, because it had been tough. I don't know what he went through, but it seems like a very long journey of bad news. But I think that he's ready. If he hasn't done anything, I think that he's ready to come back, or either he's working on himself as a person to be better, maybe emotionally to open up a bit more about how he feels, about, expressing, this that he went through. Maybe he's talking to people. But it's tough because I think that it's not over, unfortunately. I have the Knight of Swords and I have the Five of Pentacles. So this could be another person also coming to, bring a bit of chaos into his life, maybe accusing him of something. This more I see like money, like, oh, I invested or I gave you this money and you didn't pay me back, or you owe me this, or like, I had this, but then I lost it because of you. It's about money. It's about money. It's about someone like somehow, requesting something out of him. But this person is not being nice. It's actually been very straightforward, like very much like, fighting him also. And I think that he knows this. He knows like that there's maybe certain issues with him, or maybe people are not happy with him, or he has like someone that is like, could it be like suing him or something like this, or attacking him online? I don't know. But with the King of Cups in the middle, I think that he's trying to calm down also and become more mature about this, because he's like, I cannot help this. This that is coming my way, like maybe accusations or people talking or people accusing me, like I really cannot control this. So, with the King of Cups, there's this like energy of like, I will just flow like water, like the King of Cups. I will just, accept that, this is happening to me. um I think that he's slowly like maybe moving on from old issues, and maybe there's this one still pendant, or maybe there's this person or this group of people maybe attacking him for something else, for a different reason. But there's something about people wanting his money, or just wanting him to be poor. I don't know, but it feels like very heavy, like it's all about money. Like, oh, you stole my money, or you no, it feels like, like. But also the Five of Pentacles, I think that um it's people that probably, they are, they also live a very, unstable life, or they gamble. I don't know what they do with their lives. They do very risky operations with their money. Or maybe, I don't know, could it be like fans that send him money somehow, like something like this, and he's in the middle, looking at them with this face. He's like, you know I don't feel guilty. Like, you made the decision. You were the one that started all of this. These are your consequences. So, I wonder, why these people are so, like, they want him to get affected by this, but I think that somehow there's something like about these people also being the initiators of their own mess. So this is why he's so calm. His expression is like, well, you did it yourself. But yeah, I see very angry people towards him. But yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, I think that he has to be patient and he has to remain in this, like, going with the flow and just adapting, because this year is a bit challenging for him. About work, I don't see it. I see all these arguments and, very, confrontative kind of, energies. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, this shall pass. This is just a cycle. You just have to remain in this mantra, remain in this attitude, and just, don't get attached. Just flow. Just flow. This will go away eventually. But yeah, if you're fans of this man, please let me know what is he up to, how is he doing. I don't know. I'm worried now because wow, the aggressivity, the aggression towards him. I'm like, oh, my, these people don't stop. It's like he fixes one and then someone else comes, and they are very aggressive. They are very aggressive with the arguments or with the accusations. Maybe they are very much online. Okay, I'm going to continue with, this is an actress, I believe, Dilraba Dilmurat. Dilraba Dilmurat. Dilraba Dilmurat. Dilraba Dilmurat. Well, another one that maybe, what is going on with her? She also got the Wheel of Fortune, like cycles, like it shall pass. It will not always be like this. But what is going on with her? Is she caught in a scandal or something like this? Okay, we start with the Seven of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Eight of Swords in the middle. We have the King of Wands, and we have the Eight of Wands. And we have the card of the Wheel of Fortune. It says cycles. So yeah, this will pass at some point. But why are these men and these woman in here? Like, oh my God. My God. Did she cheat on someone or was someone cheating on her? Because I see these two people and they are like so in her life, so in her energy, so they must be important. This person, the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Cups, is giving me like a friend, like an old friend, because with the Seven of Swords, it's like, oh yeah, we used to be friends, now we're not, because I'm sort of like evading her. But also the Eight of Swords, she's very overwhelmed. She's like, she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't know what to do. She cannot advance. She's sort of stuck mentally in a situation. Could it be a scandal? Because there's a man also in here. So I'm like, who are these people? The King of Wands and the Eight of Wands. I mean, I could see if this is like a love interest. I don't know. It could be a lover or it could be a potential boss of hers, or someone that somehow I think that is looking at her situation, maybe her being, somehow paralyzed, like not being able to say much or not being able to do much about the situation. And he's looking at it and he's like, okay, I'm going to say something or do something very quickly. I'm going to do something or say something, because maybe he's looking at her and he's like, okay, you cannot be like this forever. So I'm going to say something, or I'm going to do something in order to get you out of there, or to somehow release the blockage, because something needs to be done or said. This is a powerful man as well. So I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. Did someone betray her, or vice versa? I don't know. I feel it very, like, I never read for this woman, but it seems like she's not in a very comfortable situation. And this has been going on for a while, because it's like it's taking up the whole year. But maybe, this man that I see here is somehow entering the picture to be like, enough is enough. Like I will unleash this, or I will help you, get rid of these limitations, because you cannot be like this forever. You have to advance. You cannot be so entangled, so like not being able to move, not being able to advance. Now, yeah, this person is going to do something for her very soon. Very soon. But yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like whatever she's going through, it's a cycle. It's going to get better, or it's going to change. But yeah, I think that it's not up to her. She's in a situation where she cannot see the way out yet. Yeah, also this man got a lot of wands, so he's like more like an action man. He's like, I'm going to do something instead of saying something. I'm going to do something or give you something to do. I don't know. With the Three of Wands, it's like, it's not that he's like, oh, I have an idea. No, he has a whole different options and plans and things. Maybe these are projects, and he's like, you're coming with me, you're going with me, but let's get you moving. You cannot be like this. What happened? I think that it has to do with this woman. I wonder if this was like, why I want to say like she was a former friend or acquaintance, but it affected her. It affected these years, and she feels like very, she cannot escape. She has intrusive thoughts. She feels like less. She feels like so affected, like mentally, like it's not easy for her to see a possible future or outcome. She's stuck in this moment, and I think that it's very sad for her. But yeah, this man is sort of looking at her and being like, you're wasting your time. You have to get out of there. So I'm going to somehow drag you out of this, like with all my force or with all my influence. But I'm going to do something, because you cannot be like this. And probably she does need of someone to get her out, because otherwise she cannot move. She doesn't have the will. So I wonder what happened to her. Wow. But yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, this is just a cycle. It's not like she's going to be like this forever. Okay, I'm going to continue with the last one, and then I'm going to go Yitong. 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 Mm. Mm. finally, like the last reading is a bit much more positive. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we start. Like always, the last card is like, ah, it's like everything is going well, and then there's one card that is like, ah, but well, it's good. Nevertheless, it's good. We have Three of Pentacles. We have the Magician. We have the Three of Cups. A lot of celebration for her. Ace of Cups, the Hierophant. And then we have the Nine of Swords, that is anxiety. This is another one that, she's having a good time. She's like, actually, this is a very good year. I can see her celebrating. She feels very powerful. She has a great community, a great group of people, colleagues. Everything is looking good. New opportunities, a new contract, or better conditions of work are coming. But at the same time, she has anxiety. I think that even though, there could be, this could be a very successful year, and she has done very well, and she has done the work, and it's paying off, and it's all happiness, and everyone is cheering, and everyone is so happy for her, and they are all happy, like a big family. She is a bit anxious about the future, or maybe she is an anxious person herself. The Nine of Swords is giving me like she probably is a person with anxiety. So even though things are doing very well, and probably the outcome, like there's a lot of doors opening for her in the near future. I can see people wanting to work with her in like already handling her, new opportunities, and being like, here, this is for you. We want you in our team. Or maybe signing a deal or a contract that is something that she has been like wanting for a very long time, and it's like everything is happening in her, for her benefit, and she's growing so much, and she's like being very abundant and prosperous, and there's a lot of love as well for her. But she has anxiety. She's someone that maybe the better she does, the more she worries. She worries about like, okay, I'm so happy right now, or I'm enjoying this so much with my people, that I worry about my future, or I worry that I will not have this, or I will not have something like this anymore. Like this is the one time opportunity, for me. Or maybe she feels the pressure of like, I done so well this year. Like, what if my next project flops? What if it's not that good of what I delivered? Because there's a lot of expectations. She probably also is very rigid, or is very critical with herself, and she's like overthinking things, definitely. Because yeah, the three of Pentacles and the Magician, she is like, I think that she was able, a lot of teamwork, amazing crowd, like amazing crew of people. I don't know who she worked with, but this has been amazing, an amazing crew, an amazing group of people, amazing colleagues. The Magician, also her being so skillful, so sharp, so intelligent, so able to transform everything into, she is an artist, she is a magician, she's able she was able to bring her magic, she adapt, she was very flexible, she was funny, she was entertaining. I think that she had a lot of fun. She was able to shine so much. But yeah, the Three of Cups in the middle is like, the recognition for her is like, we did it together. This is not about me. Yeah, of course, I shined, I did amazing. But the Three of Cups is like, we all did amazing. This is thanks to my people, and thanks to my coworkers, and thanks to all of us that we worked and we clicked, and we had an amazing friendship, and amazing. I think that they're celebrating together, and their bond is very special. It's very special. She feels so grateful that she probably enjoyed this project the most. She felt very comfortable working with these people. It seems I see a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of, like when you really work in something and you're like, I had the best time of my life, because everyone was so sweet, and we were so supportive of each other. I love this. I love this. This is why maybe, in the near future, it's like she's afraid that she's going to compare this experience to the new ones and being a bit like, oh, what if it's not the same? This was very meaningful experience for her. It touched her emotionally. But yeah, the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant, there's a new project also of hers coming. Like I don't see her rest. Also, probably this is part of her anxiety as well, that there's a new project coming. Maybe it's going to be announced very soon. So yeah, with the Magician, it's like, yeah, I'm already committed to something new. I already have to move on from these, happy vibes or these happy relationships. But she definitely, made great relationships, and she probably has like, she made friends in there. She's feeling the love. She's feeling very loved. She's loving a lot of people. She doesn't feel alone. I think that this was something like for her. It was like, for the first time in a lot of years, I didn't feel alone working. I didn't feel like isolated or that I was left to my luck. I felt very supported. I felt very, I felt loved, and I loved my people back, so it's very important. But yeah, there's something just very meaningful. And also I think that there's like a romance or something. I don't see the person, but I'm like, there's a beginning of something with someone. So yeah, but I think that probably this, that things are happening so fast this year that she's feeling anxiety. She's like, I'm so happy lately. I doubt. I'm starting to have my doubts. I'm freaking out a bit that things are going too well, but yeah, good for her. I'm loving her energy, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you for being the last reading, and for this being positive, because yeah. I have to get a better box for this, because it's so it's it's not easy for me to close this. Okay, guys, this was all for today, for today's live stream. This was part 2 for me to read that I read today for Chinese actors and actresses. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to give a like and subscribe if you haven't. And if you know these people, please, if you want to give me a feedback about what I saw in the readings, I would appreciate, because I don't know much about some of them. So yeah, you guys let me know if they're advancing in their careers, what is their status. I appreciate it very much. And yes, I'll see you on Wednesday for the readings of Romance in 2025, what is left of 2025 for EXO members. Okay, have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.